He was the best of the best, a Pittsburgh man, highly decorated, Green Beret, but Major Benjamin Follansbee's life ended in suicide.
Nearly 2 years later, his family still grieves his tragic death. Tonight, they tell his story, hoping their pain will stop another soldier or veteran from following Benjamin's path. Holden Benjamin Younger, Benjamin after his uncle, the decorated Green Beret, whom he will never know. The day Holden was born, Major Benjamin Follansbee died at his own hand.
Really doesn't get too much different than welcoming a new baby into your family and dying. And we were twins, and we were going through that at the exact same time.
Since we have been justified through faith.
A newborn held by his mother as she and her brother Chris read the verses underlined in Major Follansbee's Bible.
And he then took that Bible with him on all of his deployments.
We are so proud of you, not just because of your extraordinary accomplishments and keen mind, but because of the very fine man that you are.
A civilian father's salute. The honor guard from Major Follansbee's 4th Battalion, 3rd Special Forces Group.
Silver wings upon their chests. These are men, America's best.
The final roll call.
And they called his name for the last time. And he didn't answer.
5 months before, as 4th Battalion Rear Detachment Commander in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Follansbee answered a reporter's questions at a ceremony.
How does it feel for you to wear that Green Beret?
It's a distinct point of pride for me.
Army Ranger, Green Beret, in Iraq and Afghanistan. Jump Master, selected for the Navy Postgraduate School. A guaranteed recommendation for the elite Delta Force. No one saw suicide coming. Not his parents or his fellow soldiers. His father, a prominent cardiologist, had talked to him the day he died.
Particularly as a physician, and think back on it, you missed it.
His brother, a fellow in pediatric cardiology.
I got angry at myself for a long time because I think everybody goes through the phase of what could I have done? What didn't I do?
His twin, a child psychologist, didn't see it that Thanksgiving, just weeks before her scheduled C-section. At first, there was anger.
I couldn't believe that he would do it at a time that he knew I was having a baby. And now, looking back, I realize he held on as long as he possibly could.
His great strength was also his vulnerability, that he was so strong that he was able to keep it in from everybody.
Even a likely head injury from an IED in Iraq. But there are still no real answers for him and many of the 22 veterans a day who die by suicide.
If you try to find something in the medical literature to say, geez, if you do this, you can prevent suicide, you actually don't find much. So we don't know what's proven to prevent suicide.
Contributing factors for suicide can range from mental health issues to substance abuse, PTSD, traumatic brain injury. But a recent study showed more.
Even for those who saw active military combat, or loss of a very close personal relationship, or problems with career and finances.
But Dr. Peters believes various types of treatments can prevent suicide deaths, like Alex Powers, an Iraq veteran. Diagnosed with depression and PTSD, he struggled with the transition home.
Drinking a lot, trying to forget that day.
Trying to forget the day you were in?
Yeah. Just to make it to the next day.
When he told his VA counselors he was hiking the Appalachian Trail alone with his therapy dog, Georgia, they were concerned.
Just because he had, some issues with depression and some financial issues and things like that.
After hiking for 2 weeks, he found himself standing on the edge of a cliff in Virginia.
Walked right up to the ledge, looked down, and I guess debated a little bit on what I wanted to do.
What would you have done with her if you had jumped?
I think that's why I didn't. If I didn't have her, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
He then called Sarah Merlina, and the VA rushed to get him help and get him and Georgia home.
He really shows how someone can be at that point where they're, standing on the edge of a cliff, literally, but reach out for help and how we can help them through the system.
I'm not as hesitant to ask for help anymore.
There is also a new law helping provide more for suicide prevention for veterans. Pennsylvania Congressman Tim Murphy, a member of the Navy Reserve, helped in its passage.
We need a lot more trained people with expertise at work at the VA who are therapists, counselors, psychiatrists, psychologists, and others.
And the Follansbees do their part, working with organizations like TAPS, Tragedy Assistance Programs for Survivors, that comforted Kate. Also Wounded Warriors and Warriors to Citizens, and always honoring Major Follansbee's legacy without judgment.
I love him, tremendously proud of him, and still am. I mean, that hasn't changed one shred through this experience.
Get it up. Get it up. That's it, that's it, that's it.
Next on Chronicle.
That's it.
The heart of a warrior.
I miss the military. I miss the Navy. I wish I had never gotten out.
The purpose, the pride.
The military taught me, it taught me so much.
And the pain leaving the military behind.
Chin up, back straight. Let's go. Let's roll, Marine. Come on, there it is.